Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal, CCPT, sitting in Abuja, has awarded a fine of 150 million naira against Multichoice Nigeria Limited for disrespecting its jurisdiction by flouting its order. The tribunal, in a unanimous decision by its three-member panel, equally ordered Multichoice to provide Nigerians with a 1-month free subscription on its DSTV and GOTV services. The Saratu Shafi-led tribunal made the orders following an ex parte motion that was filed on behalf of Multichoice subscribers by a legal practitioner, Festus Onifade. The tribunal subsequently fixed July 3rd to hear the substantive action that was instituted against the company. And of course, I see have Ayodele right here with me on the show. Ayodele, very quickly, I think it's important we get down to the bottom of this. Now, Multichoice was told to suspend a hike for now, but went ahead to enforce the hike, disobeying court order in a country where they're serving customers. I mean, what's your reaction to this?
To be honest, I'm not even sure why this was a subject of litigation in the first instance. I'm not sure that you sue the person who owns a grocery store down the corner of your house that he's increased the price of bread or he's increased the price of soda. So I cannot understand, for the love of God, why this is a subject of litigation, why a private company has no right to adjust the prices of its offerings, especially at a time where its costs, whether overheads, and other component costs, has drastically increased, just like how the cost of business has gone up for every other business venture. So listen, it's either we want a market-led economy or we want some sort of, socialist influence where government has to determine the prices of goods and services across the country, which for me, in my opinion, is a bit retrogressive and disincentivizes investments in the economy that require growth and job creation. So for me, I'm not sure what this is about, because I'm hearing that the ruling says that they should give 1 month free subscription to customers. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. This is a private company. It has the right to push prices upwards or downwards, giving t-shirt to the marketplace. And it's the choice that the consumer has, whether to patronize that product or seek an alternative. I'm not sure why this is really and truly a subject of litigation.
Okay, now, I understand where your standpoint is, but we're looking at a situation here where a private company, shouldn't they follow due process? We're not saying don't increase your price tariff, but at least follow due process, give some ahead notice before you enforce the price. They enforce the price against the ruling of the tribunal, which I find very, very disrespectful to a country you're doing business in. If you're a private business, should you go out of your line and just do what you like? Is that what you're implying?
Again, I'm saying that I do not understand why, in the first instance, it became a subject of litigation. That's even before going to whether or not a certain court order was disregarded. Because like I rightfully said, I'm not sure the grocery store down your road gave you a notice to increase the price of bread or milk. You woke up one morning, went to the supermarket, and the cost of bread had increased. The price of milk had gone up. Right. The price of petrol has gone up. So, we can't say people whose operational expenses have risen should have no rights to increase prices. This is why I said in the first instance, I don't understand why it became a subject of litigation. And now you can argue that, why have they disregarded the court order? That's a different argument entirely. The argument I am making is that in a free market economy, organizations have the right, especially when they are not price gouging, to increase the prices of goods and service, especially when inflation has hit over 30%. Okay. And the consumer, like you and I, have a right, to watch what services they are rendering or not.
All right.
And that's how market economies work.
All right, Mr. Olufemi, quickly. Now, do you think Multichoice is leveraging on lack of competitors to behave this way? And of course, what should the government do in earnest to actually arrest the situation right now?
Well, I want to align with Mr. Ayodele to a very reasonable extent.
Okay.
Of course, disobedience to any lawful order, I'm opposed to it. It's condemnable, and I want to hold Multichoice responsible for, irrespective of where the order and when it was given.
Okay.
A lawful order must be respected. But on the other hand, I think it's a misdirection of energy for us to go to tribunal, to go to court, to challenge increase in tariff by Multichoice. Today, even institutions of government have increased tariffs. tertiary institutions in Nigeria have increased fee payable by students. Today, electricity company that are even subsidized by government increases tariff almost on a daily basis. A lot of private, today from 4,600 we're buying cement at about 8,000 something in this country. Nobody has gone to court. I think that the cost of cable TV should be one of the least of our problems. And I think we need to begin to direct our energy into the right direction. As Nigerians, for me, I think it's a misdirection of energy. But as government, moving forward, beyond multi-choice, there must be pricing, control. The system lacks price control mechanisms. The state is looking as if it's not concerned about regulating prices, and people have gone to court on this matter. On a number of course, the private business operators have right to determine their prices, the price of their goods and services, but there must be regulation. Okay. There must be control mechanisms which the government must play a role in ensuring its effectiveness, and that's why the government must not just see this as one of those, issues that it does not have business in. Okay. This is a call on government to see the need for that price control, institution to be made effective in the country. All right,
Ayodele, very quickly before we finally run away, in a few seconds, I'm still holding on to my own motion saying, even if you have to increase price, don't you think there should be due process in making it happen? And not just waking up and saying you want to hike your price.
Why are you frustrated about cable television? It's not an essential service. The cost of prescription drugs across your country has quadrupled. People can't afford antibiotics. People can't afford hypertension drugs that they need to survive.
Right.
That's where your industry should be going. It's not, cable TV is not an essential service. Listen, even before this price increase, over 60% of Nigerians are not using cable TV. So, it's just, for me, it's a misadventure if you'd asked me.
Okay.
Right? To deal with the other fundamentals in our macroeconomic situation than chasing, a cable TV that, between the both of us, if we talk after now, when was the last time you and I subscribed? Let's call it a spade what it is.
Ayodele, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you. Of course, I've been speaking with Ayodele Adio, communication strategist and policy analyst via Zoom. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
All right, of course. With me here also, Olufemi Lawson, Executive Director, Center for Public Accountability. Thank you so much for granting us your time as well. All right, and of course, that's our show for today. Remember, you can follow the conversation on our social media platforms at TVC News NG or on our website at tvcnews.tv. I am Marco Tabo. Until next week, goodbye.